the match yesterday, and Efren had, 3 or 4 balls close to his hole, and Shannon was way down the table and made that phenomenal shot. Cleared, not only did he clear Efren's pocket of all balls, but he moved them all the way over to his side. Remember that phenomenal shot?
Yeah, there was a lot of fantastic shots in that match, most of them by Dalton. But, great tape if available to go and, watch. And it was really a special play there in that particular match.
Notice any?
Well, actually, at first I didn't notice, but they brought it to my attention later. Some short rail banks are not like, they're banked different than opposed to yesterday. So.
In a good way or a bad way?
Well, just a way of getting used to them.
Right.
So.
Right.
They all play about the same, though.
Good. Well, we spoke a little bit, I think yesterday or maybe the day before, and you were saying that you had been injured a little bit. And you actually ended up playing, I think it was Lil Jon. You played extremely well against him. Is this injury really affecting you?
Well, in certain shots, as opposed to other shots. But for the most part, I like the way I'm playing right now.
What hurts you? Does it hurt you when you go up there, or what's bothering you exactly?
Well, like my upper back, right hand, shoulder or whatever.
Oh, so really important. Well, it's going to be a head-to-head battle going on here shortly, and one of these guys is going to go up against Shannon Dalton in the finals, which is going to come up at 9 o'clock, so stick around.
I guess Joyner was being interviewed there, and he was talking about his physical problems. Hopefully that's all he'll have in this match are physical problems. Sometimes you get those mental problems to deal with, and that's really difficult at times, to overcome if you happen to fall.
Those double-decker burdens can really put you out of commission.
Oh, tell me about it. Yeah. And then the guy right here, so with such an intimidating player to play, certainly brings out the worst in a lot of people. Sometimes he brings out the best in some, but mostly he brings out the worst.
Well, I just noticed something else, and I'll see if how your memory is. That shirt that Efren's wearing, I don't think that's the same shirt that he wore when he played Shannon Dalton. Efren's got a little policy about, he likes to keep his luck rolling. And
well, okay.
So I think he's got a different shirt on this time around, and hoping to change his luck with Cliff.
Yeah, well, that's funny that you mentioned that. I really didn't realize that he had changed his shirt, and I wasn't really aware of how superstitious he is. Because it doesn't seem like he loses that often.
That's right. Well, maybe he knows something special.
But for some reason, Joey, I don't think it's in the attire.
That's right. Well, you know what, Billy? I think it's in between the ears.
Nice speed. To see how you gauged the speed of that bank. He wanted to play pocket speed.
Mm-hmm.
So he's ready now. He didn't really practice that long, Joe. Maybe 4 or 5 minutes at most.
At the most.
And that tells me that he's comfortable. If you seem like you need to practice and you practice longer than you really should or longer than expected, it tells me that you're not totally comfortable with something and you really are trying to get the feel of it. Mm-hmm. But by him practicing that's a short period of time, it tells me that he's comfortable.
He's ready to play.
Yeah, he's ready to play.
On the other hand, Cliff practiced for 20 minutes, and now he's back at the table one more time to get in a few swings.
Right, and that tells me that he's not ready to play because he's like I said before, I came in here about 20 or so minutes ago, and he was practicing then, and he practiced for the entire time I was here. And now Efren came into the pit and practiced 4 or 5 minutes. He's ready, and Cliff went back at the table. Well, hopefully Joyner will settle down and play a good match because that's what he needs to do if he expects to win this match against Reyes.
That's right. Well, we've only been here a few minutes, and the match hasn't even started, but we've We've been joined by over 1,100 viewers already, and we're glad to have all of you internet viewers with us tonight. We've got this great matchup between Efren Reyes and Cliff Joyner. Next on the list is Shannon Dalton at 9 p.m. So everybody, get out that coffee pot, start brewing some Java, and we'll spend the night doing a lot of one pocket.
And now that you mentioned how many people are watching this match on the internet, this is the first event these people have put on for the players and for the people that enjoy watching pool. And I think you guys should try to support this, this game of ours, and maybe next year when they have a tournament, try to be here and watch it live. That would really help everything.
Yes, indeed. Well, we're going to give a quick shout out while we're waiting for the tournament director to make the introduction. We've got a couple of guys out there, Curdy too, Corvette, Josh Palmer, Lee Brett. Lee Brett from, I think Lee Brett's originally from England, now up there in Canada, I believe. Doing all right there. We're in the booth here with Billy N. Cardona. This is Joey A. from the Internet Pool Forums, and we've got a great match coming up, so we hope you'll be staying with us the entire time. Oh, we've even got our buddy Jay Helford out there. Jay's back home, I imagine, there in L.A., and he's joined the stream, so welcome to the stream, Jay.
That's the judge, Judge Jay.
Judge Jay.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to give him that name on the AZ Billiards because he really doesn't have a nickname other than, I'm sorry, Toupee Jay. I do apologize, but you're stuck with that, I guess, Jay. But I think Judge Jay is just better suited because, you really do come with the right decision mostly all the time, except when you're talking to me about things I disagree with.
Well, Toupee Jay, that's something out of the past. So, I think maybe Judge Jay might be more appropriate. Hey, Harold Smith, how we doing out there? Okay, it looks like Ken Schumann is getting ready to make the introduction, and we'll be quiet in 5.
To Day 7 of the inaugural Galveston World Classic. We're coming to you live from the Moody Garden Hotel here on beautiful Galveston Island in Texas. And boy, do we have a great evening presentation for you tonight. This event has been produced by Taylor Road Productions. And at this time, I'd like everybody in the building to show their appreciation for Bobby Roan, Clark Roan, Louis Vecchio for putting this thing on. Thank you very much. It's an incredible amount of work. It's been over a year in the making. Everybody here has helped make this a wonderful success, and we're looking forward to doing many more in the future. We're about to finish up our one pocket division. We started the one pocket division with approximately 90 of the best one pocket players on the planet. There are 3 of them left. And these 3 gentlemen are arguably the greatest 3 one-pocket players in the last quarter century. I think we'd all agree on that. They're going to be playing a race to 3 games. This is a one-loss side. The loser finishes 3rd. The winner will come back here at approximately 9 p.m. tonight to face Shannon the Cannon Dalton for the championship. At this time, I'd like to introduce our 2 competitors. Our first player is a local legend. He's from Houston, Texas. He's a very fierce competitor, a lot of heart, never gives up, a one-pocket specialist. Let's hear it for Cliff Joyner. His opponent is the most recognized name in professional pool in the last 25 years. He's an international superstar. He's a 4-time world all-around champion. He's a 5-time Derby City one-pocket champion. He just recently took down the Villar Cup and also won the World Cup of Pool with his partner Francisco Bustamante. He is sponsored by San Miguel Beer, Puyat Sports, and Jack Justice Cases. From the Republic of the Philippines, the magician himself, Efren Reyes. Gentlemen, please lag for the break. Rack your own, race to 3.
That was a first-class introduction, if I might say, huh?
Absolutely. Ken's been doing
And our
this all
live
week.
commentators going out worldwide on the internet, Mr. Joey Guzin, Joey A., and Billy Cardona.
Well, thank you, Ken. That's great. Here we have the lag, and it looks like Efren's planted the cue pretty close to the rail. But it may be a very close call here.
Looks like
Mr.
the
Joyner wins the leg.
orange ball won the leg. If you remember the last time Reyes played on the featured table against Dalton, his lag fell way short.
That's right.
This time, it fell a little too long.
Exactly.
And Joyner didn't really lag that well himself, but nevertheless, he lagged well enough to win the first break, which is, by the way, a very, very important shot to have the first break in a short race to 3.
At race to 3, that break is going to be extremely important.
Now, it's going to be important for Joyner, of the two players out there, for Joyner to get out of the gate quickly. He has the break to aid him in doing that. He must strike the break well because it's such an important shot, particularly when you're playing a player like Efren Reyes. You must get out of the gate quickly, and you have to open up the balls well on the first break. Put pressure on him right away.
I didn't notice Cliff practicing his break during that 15 minutes. When you're preparing to play on a table, do you like to get in a couple of breaks to make sure that that your break is working and that you're satisfied with the position of the cue ball, where you're breaking from?
Very good point, Joe. Absolutely. You really must try to practice the break, find out where on the table you break the balls best from. I saw Joyner preparing himself to break 2 or 3 times. And it's, he was practicing the break. I don't think you were here when he was doing that.
Right.
But, he
stepped
was.
out of the booth there for a little while. He may have been doing it while I did some doors.
It seems like a fairly effective break. Not many balls came loose from the rack, but enough. And he has, most importantly, though, he has a ball on the short rail and he has a ball on the long rail surrounding his pocket, which makes for Efren's job a lot more difficult to defend.
I don't think Efren's going to take the super aggressive approach and try and bank the 7 right out the gate with those 2 balls right there by Cliff's on both on the foot rail and the side rail. Well, I was wrong. He tried it. He failed.
And he really didn't strike that ball well at all. And he's quite fortunate not to have given up more than he did. Joyner does have a shot on a 13, but it's certainly not a gimme. Very, very, very thinly cut ball. He needs to really, really cut this ball thinly. I don't know if he's going to shoot it. And if he does shoot it, he's going into the rack. Strange things can happen.
Yeah, and the balls can definitely go towards Efren's pocket if he hits it with a good speed too. He's actually going to have to drive the cue ball through a couple of balls to get another shot at his pocket.
No, I'm sorry, Joe, but if he cuts this in, he wants to go into the 15, not the 12 ball.
Right.
The 12 and the 11 are the 2 balls to the left of the cue ball. It looks like he's spinning it away from everything.
Going down table.
He didn't want to take a chance on going into the balls, because if he would have gone into the 12, he would have really ended up probably with a problem. Now he has a choice here, Joe. He can opt to shoot the 1 ball, or he can play safe off of down 4, or the 7 ball, excuse me.
Yeah, he's looking at, he looked at trying to shoot the 1 ball and then maybe bank the 3 ball as the next object ball to look at, but now he's had second thoughts.
Well, the 3 passes the 7, and he figured that he's not going to give Reyes an opportunity at the table with an easy first shot, so he's going to make him earn it. Okay, and I don't blame him. You want to win this first game. The balls lay slightly in your favor, but not by much. It looks like looks like this game's going to be an up-table game right away. And in the first game, looks like the ball's going to end up going up-table for some reason. That's what I think.
Efren loves to put his opponent. He likes to leave his opponent with the cue ball in the stack, and while he's going to try and knock this 1 away right now, you're going to see that cue ball going into that stack quite frequently.
And the reason he probably didn't want to go into the stack and move balls to the table because he was afraid possibly that the 8 ball might leak out and give Joyner a bank. He opted to move the 1 ball away from Joyner's side of the table, which is always good, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
If you really don't know what to do, try to move a ball from your opponent's side of the table. At least you're being somewhat productive.
Well, there, internet fans, there's that tip that Joey A guarantees on each one of his commentaries. Billy's got plenty more coming, so stay tuned.
If the 11 was aiming toward the 2-rail shot in his pocket, he would shoot it, but it's not. So therefore, he's going to have to do something simple. He'll draw the cue ball back to the end rail. Now he doesn't like that either. He really doesn't have much right now. And, it looks like no matter what he does, he's going to be opening balls up on Joyner's side of the table, and he doesn't really want to do that.
It looks like that 7 ball could bank if Cliff had an opportunity to hit it. Well, no, that 6 is pretty close too. Can that 7 ball get past the 6 for a bank if he had a shot?
Yeah, that's why he didn't want to shoot off the 15 and stick him there, because he may have left him the cross corner bank on the 7.
Right.
And he did something really simple, mainly because he didn't want to open up balls on Joyner's side of the table. If he did that, he would only be helping Joyner, and he didn't want to do that.
Well, Cliff can put a considerable amount of spin on this cue ball and bank the 11 towards his hole, but he's checking the stack and making sure that there aren't any dead balls there for Efren to shoot at.
Well, I think he's looking at the kick here. He's probably looking to kick into the stack here, but I don't believe I would kick with any speed here. I would kick just hard enough to get a ball to the cushion.
Well, he's going to have to hit a combination to the rail. Oh,
no,
boy.
Well, he
risky.
misjudged that.
A little risky.
He misjudged that. That's going to cost him. Might cost him the first game. Like I mentioned, I really wouldn't have kicked with a hard speed there. I would have made sure that if I kicked there, I kicked accurately and with the speed, not to lose control of the white ball. He didn't do either, and it's probably going to cost him game number 1 in the short race to 3.
Right. Well, the balls were closely clustered, and it wasn't a simple kick at a ball and kick it to the rail. He had to hit other balls in the process, and I think he was, trying to make sure that he didn't give up a scratch or a foul, and instead he may have given up the game.
Notice what he did there. Now,
he didn't get. I don't think he's got a shot on the 8 ball.
Well, if he doesn't have a shot on the 8 ball, then it was obviously a grave error. But I thought that perhaps he wanted to play position for the 8 ball there, opening up the pocket for both the 7 and the 15 at a later time in this rack. See,
Sure.
the 8 ball was a problem ball, which blocked the path to the pocket for the 7 and the 15, which precluded him from running out. So therefore, he wanted to deal with that quickly. I was kind of surprised to see him play position for the 8.
He's got to choose between shooting a 7-8 combination and maybe a 9-ball bank. I don't know.
Now this is risky. Shooting this combination is very risky because he really can't control the cue ball if he shoots this shot.
He's going to freeze the cue on the 7 and just knock that 6 ball towards his pocket. No, he's doing the. Efren has an excellent perception of caroms, and he was extremely confident that he was going to hit that 9 ball. And unlike a lot of us, he plays caroms extremely well, and he hit that 9 very full. It was a shot that Efren owns, so he had a lot more confidence shooting that than I would.
Yeah, and I believe he played more cue ball than actually 8 ball there.
That's right.
That's exactly what Joey said. He has an excellent feel for those types of caroms. And he played, I think, more cue ball than 8-ball there because it was very difficult to control the cue ball and the 8-ball at the same time. Joyner should be, or should consider himself very fortunate to have had another opportunity back at the table.
Do you think that there's a chance he'll shoot this 7-ball bank onto the 8? I mean, you know, as long as he keeps that cue from running into the 10, 15, 14, 11, or 12, whatever that pink ball is, 12 ball.
No, I don't think he's going to run that risk because I don't see anything good that could happen.
Well, the balls are spread really well. I'm just wondering where he's going to go from here.
He's going to probably try to reposition the cue ball somewhere in the rack area. I don't know, but I don't believe he's going to attempt a bank here. Very difficult shot, and it doesn't look like he can even end up with another shot even if he makes it.
Mm-hmm. Moved another ball towards Cliff Joyner's hole, and Cliff's got a little kick at this 8. It's kind of a tempter. I call these shots a little tempter. If Cliff decides to try and he's not even looking at my 8-ball kick.
No, he's got no protection there. He's going to position the cue ball behind the brown 7. That seems to be the place I would go. Always trying to go behind the 8.
Well, I think he can. Efren can hit that 12 ball. Can you see from that angle where you're at, Billy? Is he able to make contact with that?
I might be able to once Joyner leaves that.
Well, the score is 1-1 in a race to 3 in this first game. The score is 1-1. So let's see what Efren does here.
If he can see the brown 7 ball, which I don't know if he can, well, he's not going to reposition the cue ball up by the yellow 1. Now, when he shoots this shot, he has to protect the 2 and the 9, so he's going to go forward with the cue ball here. He's got to protect the 2 and the 9. He can't allow Reyes to see the 2 or the 9, because those 2 balls are big for Joyner on his side of the table, so he must protect them.
Well, Cliff's got a wall of balls. He's got the 5 and the 14 facing his hole, and maybe a 4-10. So Efren's going to have to do a little shaking up of the rack and trying to move some things to his side of the table and move them away from Cliff's side.
And that was a very effective shot. He repositioned the cue ball where Joyner really can't do anything offensive right here, and he repositioned another ball on his side of the table. So therefore, it didn't appear that he did much, but he did a lot with that particular little shot. Very nifty little shot.
He neutralized Cliff's opportunity at the table.
No, Cliff can't really look for anything offensively here. So
I think he's got to worry about giving Efren a 12-ball bank or something crazy like that. Which, you know, if the cue ball doesn't arrive close to the rail, and Efren gets a chance to, you know, to move that cue ball around, he may even take a swing at this 12 ball, and Cliff's looking at it right now.
He's coming off the orange ball. I don't know if I would do this. Okay, that's fine. You know.
He got it to the back rail.
But the problem with that shot is he's allowed Reyes to see both the orange ball and the blue ball. And those balls favor Joyner if they remain there, but for some reason I don't think they are.
I think one of them, at least one, will be moved from that side of the table.
Right now, this is the type of a game where you try to rearrange the balls and try to create a position for yourself. And if given the opportunity, then you go for something offensive. But you have to position the balls in case you do have a good shot later on. They're in position for you to run.
Well, I was kind of surprised that Efren would just simply shoot the 2 ball very softly. I know he was trying to tie up the 9 ball just now, but you know, that's myself. Let me ask you about that. If Efren had tied up the 2-9 so that neither ball could be made in Cliff's pocket, is that genuinely a good shot? By having those balls down there, if Cliff is able to bank a ball toward his hole, for example, he's got that 2-9 that can't go in Cliff's pocket, but he's got a little blocking force there, so that the bank that Cliff would knock towards his hole, it would be difficult for Efren to get to it.
Yeah, well, that's true. But I think what Reyes was mainly concerned with is, I think that he's committed himself to an up-table game, and he really didn't want to give Joyner an opportunity to shoot an offensive shot.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, he really gave up a little bit of ball repositioning in order to keep Joyner from doing anything offensively.
Right. He didn't hit that very hard.
Well, he played cue ball there, Joe. That was very important, because the 6 ball is up the table far enough not to be a problem, for him. But the cue ball was the most important part of that shot. Repositioning the cue ball on or near a cushion, really limiting Reyes what he can do in terms of accuracy and also controlling the cue ball.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the balls down here around the foot spot obviously favor Joyner. Even though they're slightly on Reyes' side of the table, they still favor Joyner.
And this is the very first game in a race to 3. The score is 1-1. Mr. Reyes at the table.
And Joyner made a mistake right there. He allowed Reyes to twist into 14. Now, if he twists in this 14, he's going to run some balls here. I don't think he has. It's come up short. But notice how much room he had to make that ball. He had quite a bit of room. I thought Joyner made a mistake when he left him that shot. He was fortunate not to get penalized for it. He has to be careful here. He has to be careful he doesn't leave him another bank.
It may not be long before Efren is attempting to move that 2 ball slightly, and now Cliff's fixed some of that problem there.
Cliff made a good shot. He controlled the cue ball with a little inside English by drawing it away and still moving balls from Reyes' side of the table. Reyes will try to
2 ball.
Reyes will try to put him on the orange ball, which was done quite nicely.
Great speed control so far. Neither player seems to be suffering from some of the problems that we've seen with some of the other players in the past.
Now, this shot must be hit with good speed. And this particular shot sometimes is difficult to control the speed of the cue ball. You really can't allow the cue ball to get away from you here, giving up a shot on the 14. That's the only shot he has, by the way. He just has to lag it down to the end of the table here with good speed.
And does. Now, do you see a possibility of a 2-railer and Efren putting the cue ball behind that 7? No, the 7 doesn't go past the 8. I don't think he'll be going down there.
But that was a good shot, Joe, if the angle on the 14 was conducive for that 2-rail and the cue ball up table. That was a very good shot. And Reyes did take a look at it. He wants to protect that ball that's in front of his pocket, and he's using the 4 ball as the interfering ball. And Joyner's looking up table. There's nothing up table for Joyner, He really has to take, concentrate on doing something down this end of the table. And he can ill afford to leave bank on the 8 ball here too. He's got to protect himself. He's got to protect the 8 ball bank here while moving the 4 ball.
Well, the balls on Cliff's side of the table are starting to look a little convoluted.
Exactly.
He's got 11 ball, the 9, the 2, the 10. None of them are easily made balls, and the only ball that can go is the 5 or the 7 right now.
I kind of like kicking behind the 14 opposed to kicking this way. This way you may leave him a bank on 12 or the 13 at the other end.
Mm-hmm. Kicked at good speed.
Yeah, but that's a risky bank now, so he probably won't shoot it. But he can reposition the cue ball now behind the 5 and the 11, off of the 13. If the 5 passes, then he'll have second thoughts there.
Yeah, I think the 5 does pass. You're talking about by the 10?
Right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it does pass.
Now the 7 passes, and he ran into the 13 with the cue ball, allowing Joyner at the table with a shot on the 7. Joyner's not even looking at the 7 ball, and I think that's a mistake.
Yeah, the score is 1-1, and there are balls that are easily made in Efren's pocket, so maybe a little extra caution is something that might work out for Cliff.
Well, I thought that Joyner was close enough to the 7, hit it accurately.
Oh, I like the shot. I probably would have shot something like that. Not hard, just pocket speed, just in case it didn't fall. I'd leave it close to the hole for sure.
So now this is a funny situation. I myself, if I'm going to shoot off the 4 ball, I draw the cue ball back down to the short rail, where in front of the 14.
I like that.
Because if he doesn't, then his opponent or Joyner will just hit the 14 away. But he opted to shoot the 14, which was another good choice.
Did he plan on running into the 4 ball like that, Billy?
Well, Joyner's got to be careful here. He may leave him a free bank here.
Hmm.
It doesn't appear that he has a bank. And I look at the other side of the table. I look down there near the 11. Maybe he can reposition the cue ball down there, because that seems to be a pretty good spot for the cue ball if he can get it over there by the 11. The 11's to the right of the orange ball. He's just going to play it safe. He's going to create more congestion. Not doing anything risky right now.
I saw a match between Cliff Joyner and Buddy Hall one time that was extremely similar to this. Buddy and Cliff had chosen to move all the balls up table, and virtually all 15 balls were in one corner pocket. And just like these balls are all over on Cliff's side of the table, they're not stuck in one corner. And Buddy had made a very strategic move on Cliff, and Cliff wasn't aware of it until the trap was already set. The match was there was a time element involved. Buddy had calculated that he was ahead in the match, and when Buddy finally sprang the secret on Cliff, Cliff was in a very difficult situation and was forced to start knocking balls, towards his hole. And each time Cliff would move a ball, Buddy would bank it in his hole.
That's funny.
It was funny.
That's funny. Now he has to be careful that he doesn't leave him a free bank on the 4 ball here.
Almost looks like there's going to be something happening here. I'd be surprised if Cliff gets away with this.
I don't know why he's elevating here unless he has a bank.
That's no good.
Well, at least he has good speed of the cue ball. That's going to aid him with this leave he left. It's close to the cushion, quite a distance from the 14, but Reyes has that uncanny ability to hit balls accurately. But not that time. Reyes seemed to have moved a little bit on that shot, Joey. It really doesn't seem like he's comfortable.
Well, the score is still 1-1. Neither player's shown any ball running at this stage of the game. I think their stroke has temporarily left them. I mean, they haven't had really an opportunity to, each time each opponent seems to leave that cue ball virtually frozen to the rail, not allowing the other player to use his bridge hand on the base of the slate, which is a strategic move by any good one-pocket player.
That's a good shot. Looks like it's laying on a kiss angle here. And he can't, well, he can bank to 14, but he's going to sell out the 4 ball, so he can't do that. He can't bank it back up table. That looks like it's going to be a kiss. So therefore, he may have to kick underneath the 14 here. I think that's his only shot.
I like the kick myself. Efren's kicking very soft. He's satisfied to leave those balls in the same general vicinity.
Joyner's looking at the 3-railer here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I would shoot this shot. I don't think I would, matter of fact. I don't agree with this shot at all. I think what he should do is try to reposition the cue ball up table, up to the upper right-hand part of the table. I don't like this 3-railer at all. No, he's given away his position now. He's made it too easy for Reyes to deal with the 2 balls down here. I would have myself went off the brown 7 ball trying to reposition the cue ball behind the orange 5 in some way, protecting those balls and possibly coming up with a shot later on.
Oh, that ball skidded.
He hit good with good speed, though. But I figured from the offset just about of this particular game, it was going to be an up-table game.
Well, most of the balls are on Cliff Joyner's side of the table. Efren's going to make sure that he doesn't give Cliff an opportunity to get behind that stack of balls with a ball sitting in Cliff's hole.
No, that shot was questionable. He's going to probably bank it, but he's going to run the risk of scratching here, even though the 1 ball's in front of the pocket. If he banks at this 14 ball, he can go right through the 1 and scratch behind it. It's possible.
I think he's got the cue ball's off the rail enough that he can put enough low English to avoid the scratch. He's just not going to be able to control the shot as well.
I'll tell you another shot that's available. He could kick the 1 ball and elevate and bank the 1 back down. Very difficult shot, but it is a shot. I don't know if he'll shoot that, but it's definitely a shot.
You're talking about kicking off the back rail?
Kicking off the side cushion into the 1 with a low ball.
Ooh.
Very difficult shot, but it's not that bad of a shot. Now this shot here, he has to be careful.
He might be a little worried about the slide on the cloth, and he may avoid that. Oh, now this is different. I think we'll see a bank towards Efren's hole here.
Yeah, some type of a bank either on the 10 or the 4.
He's going to go for that 4 ball. Maybe a bank on the 10 after this if he happens to get lucky.
Tough little angle he has here on the 4. He would like to bank the 14, but I don't think he's going to do that. And it appears that he may do that, but And that 4 ball is positioned quite close to Reyes' pocket.
Maybe he's going to go behind the 1. Is that what he's trying to do? Yep. Oh, that hurt. The cloth is still fast, and the balls slide really well on fast cloth. He couldn't control the speed after it hit the 1.
Yeah, it looked like a pretty risky shot.
How do you play this shot right here, Billy?
Yeah, well, he's got to play position for the 13 ball because it's laying too thinly to hold it for the bank.
Does he go up and down the table?
No, I wouldn't think he would go up and down the table here.
Mm-hmm.
I just think he slow spins it because he does that so well.
Well, he's going to have to hit it a little fuller than normal if he slow spins it.
Mm-hmm. But he'll probably slow spin it because he does this extremely well.
You called that perfectly, Billy.
Yeah, that shot cost Joyner a lot. With the score being at 1 ball apiece prior to shooting that shot, it looks like now it's going to end up 4-0 if he can get over for the 14, which he's failed to do. Now it's 3-0 in favor of Reyes in this first game. Yeah, he hasn't even gotten over far enough to attempt a very thin cut on the 14. Gonna have to try to play position on a cue ball here, get the cue ball position close to that cushion.
Cliff's got to be careful. He doesn't want to leave that cue ball down table or up table, down table near the head string because that 10 ball is easily bankable.
Exactly.
Whoa. You got a fortunate roll there.
He's left him a bank on the 7 ball here. Notice the 14 ending up in front of the 10. Really congesting things on this side of the table.
He doesn't want to hit the 6 ball and give the 5 ball a chance to...
I don't think the 5 passes.
If he hits the 6, it will. Oh. It looks like... Maybe the 14 may be a little bit in the way, but we don't have to worry. Efren doesn't have to worry about that with making that shot.
Yeah, notice the position of the cue ball and the 15. He can draw it now behind the 5 ball. And if he's able to put the 15 down, he'll have the 5 next. Well, he moved the 6 with his hand.
We're going to find out if that 5 ball can go right now.
Well, he moved the 6 with his hand. Now, what's the ruling on this? Do you have the option to leave it as it lies?
That's right. If he only moved 1 ball, if only 1 ball was moved, that ball can be placed back into the same position.
And that's a rarity. I mean, not often do you see Reyes move a ball on the table other than the cue ball. And that was shooting it. I very, very rarely have seen him do that.
Did the 5 ball get touched by the 6? I don't think it did because
No,
it's still, it looks like it's in the same position, barely able to get past the 14 ball.
I saw the green 6 move, the 5 did not move. I don't think the 5 will pass the 14, though.
Apparently not.
But it's probably pretty close. And if he can't see the right-hand side of the 15, he may end up shooting the 5 if it does pass. Because now hitting the 15 on the other side is risky because it's very difficult to control both the cue ball and the 15 hitting it on the other side of it.
Mm-hmm. Now that's nice if he can get stuck into that little covey of balls. Cliff's got like 8 balls on that one rail there. It's a hideaway for either opponent.
But you know what? I don't know if that's good for Joyner having all those balls on his side. It certainly blocks all the lanes on Banks for his pocket, and it offers a hiding place for Reyes to put the cue ball behind.
Exactly.
So therefore, even though the balls are on Joyner's side of the table, I think it's a disadvantage.
I agree.
If given an opportunity, if I were Joyner, I would loosen up those balls, create some sort of a problem, future problem for Reyes.
This is the first game in a race to 3. Right now, Mr. Reyes leads the score 4-0.
He would like to bank the 5, but he's too smart to do that.
Put one more up in that little stack of balls there.
Well, Joyner has an opportunity now to loosen up these balls up a little bit.
Oh, what about that 15-6?
I myself, I would go into the 14, hit the 14 into the 10, and loosen those balls up.
He's looking at that 15-6. He wants something by his hole. Oh, got a bad roll. Got an unfortunate kiss.
Okay, now he may bank to 15 here. That's the only shot I see. He can't see the 1. And those balls are still all tied up on Joyner's side of the table. Fortunately for Joyner, he's repositioned the cue ball very closely to the 9, creating bridging problems and sighting problems for Reyes if he opts to shoot to 15, which looks like he may not do.
Well, the referee approached the table just in case to watch the shot carefully.
Reyes is just going to put him behind the 9 here, it looks like. Oh, no, he's going to play the 9 here. He's playing the 9 ball. That's what he's doing.
Oh, my. Nice call, Billy.
Now, look at the 2 sides of the table. Look at Joyner's side of the table, and then look at Reyes' side of the table. What side would you rather have?
Ooh. Let me put on my thinking cap here.
Yeah.
It won't take long to make a decision about that.
And see, and those balls are still tied up now. Had he loosened those balls up before, this situation never developed the way it did. Is he trying to double bank the 8, repositioning cue ball behind the 2? If he's even thinking about that, because the balls are positioned so much in Reyes' favor, that the shot is totally worthless.
I just can't imagine him doing this.
Yeah, he better just move that 9.
Live to fight another day. That was a pretty good shot.
Yeah, it was good speed with the cue ball. He didn't offer him a bank on the 5. He protected the bank on the 1. He repositioned the cue ball close to the bottom cushion, not allowing Reyes to do really anything. If he shoots the 5, he runs the risk of selling out the 1. So therefore, he did his job. Reyes would like to position the cue ball down by the 13, hanging in the upper right-hand corner. That's where I would try to get, but how do you get there? That's the problem.
Well, the 15 ball does go in this corner, doesn't it? Into Cliff's pocket.
I don't know if it does or not, but if it does, I'm sure you don't want to give him a good shot on the 15.
Probably just knock this one ball down table.
So it's hard to do that because he's got such a good position here. See, he's got such a strong position. It's difficult to give it up like he did.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Joyner has an option here. He can loosen those balls up. I think that's what I would do here. I would loosen those balls up and draw the cue ball back down table.
Getting it very close to this foot rail.
You know, I loosen these balls up and try to get the cue ball back down table.
Well, he didn't get it to the foot rail, but
And he put all the balls on Reyes' side, but he did leave two on his side tied up.
yeah.
That wasn't much of a you know, an accomplishment, or didn't get production there.
No. Maybe he wants to let Efren see how it feels having, 8 balls stuck on one rail. That 10-8 looks very, very nice for a 2-rail bank for Efren if that 15 was removed.
It looks like it'll bank past the 15 from my vantage point, kind of.
Yeah, I've seen so many balls slide on this cloth. I just get scared of anything that's close to a kiss.
That's true. Now, if he shoots the 9, he's got to watch the cross-side scratch with the cue ball. I'd make sure that I would shoot the 9 and send the cue ball toward that 10.
Yeah, that 5 ball banks in Efren's hole.
Now he's going to shoot the 9, but I would go toward the 10 with the cue ball after contacting the 9.
Oh, okay. Running the 9 into the 11 and 2.
Yeah, and I'm going to go toward the 10 with the cue ball.
Right.
See, going down this way with the cue ball, he may leave him something. Maybe that 2-rail 10-8 combination, which looks like it might be kind of like on, and he's in a perfect position to shoot it too. Well, he's not going to shoot it. He's going off the 13, back down table.
Again, once again, the cue ball is close to the rail.
Now he's going to try to roll on the 10-8, but it's got to be careful here, Joe. You may end up giving up a shot on the 10.
That's right.
Bank.
Yeah, that 10 could jump off from that 8 quite easily. He's going to try this 1 ball?
Yeah, he may be banking the 1 here.
Not good.
He really hasn't hit many shots good in his first game of this match.
Well, neither player has had a chance to, let their stroke out.
Oh, he hit that a little short.
Cliff's got to be careful about leaving Efren a bank on the 5 ball, because it could float into his pocket on the bank, just in case he decides to shoot the 1 ball.
Cliff is really struggling right now, and he wants to break loose 10 from the 8 badly, but he just doesn't have the opportunity to do that, especially not right now. He doesn't want to come off 1, for like Joey says, he may give him a bank on the 5.
And the 14 banks as well.
Yeah, so he doesn't really want to move the 1 now.
Going to go play hide and seek.
That wasn't a bad shot. He trails 4-0 in this first game. So his job is to, reposition the balls, get them down table somewhat. So if given the opportunity, some balls will be in position for him to be able to score and maybe surmount this deficit 4-0. Reyes' job obviously is to keep Cliff on the defense, not giving him anything offensive to shoot at, and really doesn't need more balls down table. I think that was a bad shot. I think Cliff is going to end up shooting in the 12 ball into the 2, setting the 2 down table, repositioning the cue ball behind the 13.
Well, he's going to have to shoot it with really good speed to get that 2 to come all the way down the table, so I don't know if he's going to choose to do that.
I don't even know if he sees that shot. It looks like it's laying pretty good to me.
I think if that cue ball's froze to the 11 ball.
He's going to billiard that ball in over there. No, yeah, he's going to put him all over there, and he's going to put him in trouble.
Yeah.
I didn't like Cliff's shot at all. I did not like his shot at all. No.
Getting froze on that 9 ball is, well, Efren got lucky.
Yeah, Cliff put himself in a big trouble right here by shooting that shot. Yeah, he's in a lot of trouble here. He's going to give him the 6 or the 1.
Well, for the most part, this first game in a race to 3, Cliff has been in prison and hasn't had an opportunity to really shoot at his hole. Efren continues to move the balls around the table, much like a chess game, which Efren enjoys immensely.
He's going to have to try to protect or defend against the 6, but which I don't know if he's done.
Right.
And for certainly
what
sure,
about the 5?
Yeah, certainly sure it's given up the 5. He didn't draw the cue ball behind the 9, which I think he intended to do. But his body had blocked my view of the shot. But he certainly has given him a shot on the 5, and that's no good at all because it's such a easy shot for Reyes because he doesn't have any fear of risking anything if he misses it. He's looking at the green 6. I don't know if he'll shoot that. That's still risky, that shot.
He could possibly run into the 14-12. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's a little risky. So he's opting to play the easier 5-ball shot that doesn't have the risk that the 6-ball has.
Good speed. It almost rocked into the hole, but held up, and Cliff. The score is still 4-0. Each player is required to make 8 balls in their hole to win the game. This is One Pocket. I'm Joey Augustin, Joey A. from the Internet Pool Forums, and I'm here in the booth with Billy and Cardona for those of you who have just joined us. I'd like to take a moment to thank some of our sponsors that have brought this free live stream to all the Internet viewers: Predator Cues, Poison Cues, Simona's Cloth, Aramuth Pool Balls, Ashley Furniture, a non-billiard sponsor, great to have on board, and Car, Inside Pool Magazine, Radio 1, Billiard Factory, and Pool.com. They're the stats guys. Ron Hoffman, Bob McFerrin, and Mike Moon. Thanks for your help, guys.
Okay, now Joyner, and I don't know if he can or not. I was thinking about loosening up that 8 and 10 now. But he may sell out a shot on the 6. But, you know, it may be a fair trade-off because that 6 carries a penalty if you go after it and miss it. And that's the shot. You know, now that was a big shot for Joyner. Now there are enough balls down table for Joyner to surmount the lead if given an opportunity. Reyes has to be very careful here.
Leave him jacked up maybe on the 2 or the 11?
Yeah, if he's going to leave him a shot, he'll want to leave him something long where he can't play position for anything, which obviously there's not much to play position for. He can play position for a bank on the 9, but he's certainly not going to shoot it from where the cue ball is positioned.
Well, I don't like shooting the 2 ball. You run the risk of leaving the 2-6 combo. You run the risk of the 11 ball being able to be shot past the 2 ball into the 6, and he's shooting it anyway. He missed it.
I think I think that he hit it
Did he
going
hit?
in.
Cliff, Efren's looking
No,
at him.
it's a foul. It's a foul. After asked him if he fouled, and Joyner said, "Yes, I did."
Well, that's one thing that I have grown to admire about Cliff. Cliff is always ready to acknowledge a foul. He's never hesitant in that area.
See, Joyner's got problems here, obviously, because Reyes has a 1 ball and the 6 ball on both rails. They're surrounding his pocket, really creating big problems for.
Cliff's going to shoot this 11 ball.
If the 11 passes, yeah, I would definitely shoot the 11. But I wouldn't shoot it like that.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't try to draw my rock back. I'd just bear down on the shot and maybe leave the cue close to the 2 ball and maybe protect that 6.
He can't do both. He's got to
go all in on the shot.
Yeah, he's got to put all emphasis on accuracy. He can't elevate. He's got to get down level. If he's going to shoot the 11, he's got to level and shoot it and just be accurate. He can't elevate. He just got to commit himself to shoot it like this. Forget about all of the balls. Just concentrate on accuracy right here. Oh, he doesn't want to pull the trigger.
He knows that this could cost him the game.
Well, he's not going to shoot it.
Well, the score is right now 5-0 in favor of Efren Reyes.
Nothing much to do other than this.
Yeah, now Cliff's in a difficult situation again.
Oh, this is very difficult. Now, in order to make a legal shot, he's going to have to control the cue ball well. And from this position, it's going to be very difficult for him to control the cue ball and not give up a shot on the 6 or the 1.
What about leaving the cue ball froze on the side rail after he shoots this shot?
And that's what he tried to do, but he left it blue too.
Yep. Well, he left the 6 ball.
Yeah, he left the 6 and the 2.
He can. Think he can. He's going to risk running past that 11 ball to try and get to the 1.
Yeah, he's got excellent control of the cue ball. He'll go in between the 10 and the 11 with the cue ball here. Or at least he tried. Now he has an option to either bank the 10 or cut the 11 into the 1. Billiarding 10 with the cue ball. I don't know if he'll do that.
He's got 6 balls right now, Billy. What does he do?
Well, this is a tough choice here. It all depends on how you feel. He can play the combination and billiard into the 10 with the cue ball, or else he can bank the 10 into the 1. He had to hit 2 cushions behind the 1 possibly, but he's going to be concerned about leaving a bank.
Well, one shot that he could shoot is he could bank the 10 ball into the foot rail, into the 1, maybe making either the 10 as a carom or a combination onto the 1, and leave the cue ball over on the 6 side rail, not disturbing the 11 at all.
Yeah, if he has the angle to do that, that's a good shot. I don't think it's laying thinly on him to be able to do that. Yeah, he's going to have to. But maybe it is. Yeah, but that's a good shot. What he doesn't want to do.
A kick? No, don't tell me. No, you can't kick it. Yeah, he did just what I thought he would do.
Yeah, well, let's see. He created the angle, but he wasn't able to get much action because he had to create the angle.
Right.
But he was mainly concerned with the cue ball. Now, that's very noteworthy because he's protecting his lead. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you have to worry about protecting your lead opposed to trying to pocket another ball if it's not advisable.
Exactly.
But the trouble is that when is it advisable and when it isn't it? That's up to you to decide, and that's where the problems come in.
Decisions.
Sometimes decisions come easier to some people. And for Reyes, I think decisions are much easier to make because he's such an experienced player with good judgment.
And good and great skill sets.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And sometimes when you have such skills, you overemphasize the value of your skills and try to do things you shouldn't do at times when you shouldn't do them. And that's what costs a lot of these players. You know, they think they can do things that they shouldn't do, but since they have such great skills, I can do this. You know, ends up costing you. You got to have good table management. Reyes has everything. He's a great all-around player.
Well, Cliff just made a fantastic shot.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he didn't pocket the ball, but it was still a fantastic shot. He did something similar to what Efren did when Efren shot the 10 ball bank towards the 1 ball. You know, he put that cue on that side of the table.
Now, Reyes is going to have to be pretty careful with the position of the 11, the way it's lying here. He would like to just give him the ball, but it doesn't lie natural for him to give him the ball comfortably. If he's able to give him the 11, he's going to probably lose control of the cue ball. That's why he looked at the 1 to see if he had enough room to pocket the 1, which I don't think that he does. Now he has to deal with the 11.
I see him looking at this, and it's almost as if he's going to go ahead and try the combo and maybe kick the 11 in.
Yeah, he tried to billiard the 11 in, and he may have lost the cue ball. That's very fortunate there. Very fortunate. Cliff should walk down this end of the table, take a look at that 1-6 position of the 1-6 and see if it's near the pocket or straight into the pocket.
Oh.
If it isn't, I would make the 15 ball.
I think when he got up from his chair, I think he looked at the angle of the 6-1, and he's not happy with it.
Okay, if the 1-6 is aiming toward Reyes' pocket, I would then try to do something with the 11 and then break loose the 1 and the 6. If it's not, I would make the 15 ball.
Yeah, the 11 ball down there, I believe.
No, I would make the 15 ball. If the 1-6...
I'm not looking way down the table, sure.
If the 1-6 isn't on for Reyes' pocket, I would make the 15 ball.
Ooh.
That way Reyes has to loosen up something. But evidently it must be on, and so that's why Cliff is opting to shoot the 11. He may want to kick now.
And maybe all he's got. Oh, he's looking at the 9. Huh.
You know, if he bangs the 9, that's really surprising because that's telling me the 1-6 is not on.
Right.
So that if the 1-6 wasn't on, why wouldn't he make the 15 ball? Really creating problems for Reyes.
Right. I see what you're saying. Well, that's the score is now 6-2. Cliff is still at the table, looking at the 12 ball, looking hard. Oh, is this a kick?
Yeah, he looks like he's kicking it. And he's not going to like that. I don't believe. It's marginal from my vantage point whether he can bank the 1 into the 6 or not.
He won't be banking this hard, though, will he, Billy?
Well, you know, it's very difficult for him to bank it because it looks like the angle that he's offered here is going to send the 1 into the 6 and leave a bank.
Exactly what happened, except that the only bank that's offered is the 1 ball, and the 6 is sitting in the hole.
I don't know. He might be able to bank the 6, but it looks like it's awkward here. It looks like it's pretty flat. It doesn't look like it appears that he does have a cross on it, a cross bank. And he can't stiffen this, and that's for sure.
Mm-mm. Well, this is one of the longer games of the tournament that I've witnessed here on the TV table. The score is 6-2 in favor of Mr. Reyes.
I still like that pocketing the 15 ball 2 shots ago for Joyner.
I like that shot now.
If you're in the corner there, not allowing you can't see the 11. What are you going to shoot off of? What balls can you shoot off of?
And that puts 4 balls on the spot.
Yeah.
At that time, there were 3, and that would have made a 4th ball on the spot. So that would have, given Cliff another opportunity to, get some balls further down table. And, well, another difficult situation here.
Yeah, it looks like to me that Joyner can shoot the 14. It seems like it lays natural for the cue ball to go toward his pocket as well. So I would shoot the 14 here. Oh, we can see the 6.
I think he's knocking it away, Billy.
I don't think he's going to get the best of this. Reyes is looking at the 14, but he's not going to shoot the 14 unless he knows he's going to get behind the 8 and the 10.
Right.
And I don't think the score really, should persuade him to shoot the 14. He's going to end up shooting the green 6 away, sending the cue ball up table.
Putting the 6 on the on Efren's side of the table, banking it 2 rails just before the 10 ball.
Well, I like just crossing the 6 on my side of the table, repositioning the cue ball near where he is now. You see where he is now?
Right.
Crossing the 6 on his side of the table. Just play good cue ball speed. That's all he needs to do on this shot. Now he's not. Well, this is pretty risky here.
He's going to control Whitey. Probably go way down the table behind the 8 or close to the 15.
Well, he didn't make the bank. Okay, and he's left Joyner a shot on the 6. Really doesn't carry much, potential in position. But he does have a shot on the 6.
I was just thinking about that 15 ball. In Cliff's defense of not choosing to shoot the 15 ball. If he shoots the 15 ball, he's definitely got to do something with the 10-8 because the 10-8 would, is a nice little 2-rail bank for Efren. If the 15 is no longer there, you see what I'm talking about?
Right. See, Reyes leads 6-2.
Right.
I thought he should have, protected that lead and managed a little bit better than what he did by opting to shoot the 13. I thought he should have kept back to the 6 on his side of the table. And now things are starting to develop a little for Joyner here.
Mm-hmm.
At least, he's given some sort of a chance to surmount this lead because the balls are still down table. So
Efren can't be thinking about crossing the 12 and just sliding that cue ball lightly sliding the cue into the 10-8.
No.
That's going to leave a 1-ball bank.
No, he's not going to do that. He's going to probably reposition the cue ball where it is now. Maybe shoot the 6 into those balls and reposition the cue ball where it is now.
Uh-oh.
It helped. Yeah, sure it did.
Helped Cliff out a little bit there.
But now Cliff has to be careful here. He doesn't give him a free bank on the 13. No, this is a wise shot here. Don't give him anything free. Put a ball on your side of the table. Reposition the cue ball about where it is now. That's good. Well, maybe giving Cliff a 2-railer on the 14.
That's a tough one.
You don't have to make it, but as long as you get the cue ball to the right of the green 6. Nope, he's opting to shoot the 1. And what he's doing there is using the 14 as an interfering ball here. Nope, he's going back down table. I don't know. He's just selling for...
Getting balls down the table. Yeah, back on his side of the table, but, again, convoluted. Going to have a convoy down there pretty soon.
And
Efren says, I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Keep putting those balls down there.
And he's trailing 6-2, so I don't know. Maybe he just didn't like doing anything aggressive at that time.
So says, well, let's pack them in there a little tighter.
This first game has taken close to an hour, I do believe.
Well, it's been full of good strategy, and I think Efren may have made his first major mistake of the match.
Very
in the
big
game.
mistake. Very big mistake. The 13 ball or the 12 ball, I think it's the 12 ball, that ball goes. Also, the 14-10 seems to be laying pretty good, but the 8 ball is in back of the 14, precluding him from making that combination. But I don't know what he can do with the cue ball here. Let's see. He might go 2 cushions behind the 6, if that's possible.
Right.
You know, if he goes 2 cushions behind the 6, and, you know, then he got some ball running capabilities and potential here.
He just wants to go all in on making this shot. He has to make this 1 ball. He needs it desperately. With that major announcement from the other arena, Cliff got up off his shot very smartly.
I kind of like 2 cushions behind 6. I think that's natural.
1, 2, and almost perfect.
Well, now he's got, if he has room, he can make the 13 or 12.
Right.
Well, it doesn't appear that he has room. He's not even looking at it.
Well, Cliff figures that if he can bank the 6 ball, he can still make the 11, but then I'm sure he's thinking about Efren's ability to bank the 11 in his pocket if he doesn't make a good shot on the 6.
Well, that depends on where the 6 ball settles after Cliff shoots it.
All true.
Good hit. Good speed.
Boy, he hit that 6 very close to the side pocket. I'm surprised it didn't come closer.
Well, at least he got another ball, so it's now 6-3.
That's a plus.
Yeah, and the balls are laying in his favor. He would like to move that 8. Efren's looking at this. He's leading 6-2. I don't think he should shoot this.
He's not going to do this. No.
No.
He's not going to. He's going to move this. Yeah, he would love to do it, no doubt.
He would love to do that.
Yeah.
But what he doesn't want to do, Joey, he doesn't want to give Joyner a 3-railer on the 8. If he knocked the 6 out, he might give Joyner a 3-railer on the 8.
Look at this. Look at this. He's doing it anyway.
Yeah. Good speed here. Very, very good speed.
Well, I'm not sure if the cue ball can float past the 12 ball and make the 6 or not.
No, he can't make the 6.
One of these days, Cliff is going to shoot at 8, 14, 10 and leave the cue ball froze on the 8 ball and moving that 10 down table. One of these days. Maybe this may not be the day, but one of these days he's going to do it.
Yeah, he's looking to shoot the 3-ball combination, sending the cue ball toward the 15, because he has sideboards with the 6. See, this shot is not that bad of a shot because of the position of the green sticks. If he plays the combination, he can actually hit it poorly but still make it.
Is he trying to go also into the 15?
Yeah, that's what he's trying to do. See, he can hit it poorly if it goes off the 6.
Oh, my. Well, he gambled and he lost.
Yeah, but it wasn't a bad gamble.
That's right.
It really wasn't a bad gamble.
The balls have opened up. And I guess it was today that he decided to shoot that 8, but he didn't freeze the cue on the 8 ball like I thought he might.
I would have liked to have seen what would have happened if he would hit it with more speed to knock the 15 away from the position that it's in now, and possibly pocket something here, either the 6 or or the 10. That's not very good.
A little soft kick, maybe just barely get the cue ball and the 10 ball to the rail.
Yeah, but he wants to hide him. He wants to put the cue ball behind the 6 here. he doesn't want to. He doesn't want Cliff to see the 12 or the 14
Right.
up table.
Right.
So therefore, he's looking up there, but there's nothing there for him. He's got to hide him behind the 10-6, actually behind the 6.
He almost has to risk missing the 6 and even the 10. Oh, he's going to hit it hard? Look at this. Oh, my goodness. What a shot.
Well, that'll take care
What
of
a
game
shot.
number 1.
My. Nice left-handed. You notice he switched hands on that shot. He did switch hands, right?
Yeah, he does that quite well. At least you haven't noticed that. I've watched him now for about 30 years playing, and I have yet to see him miss a ball he has attempted to make with his opposite hand.
Wow.
But I don't think that was like a fair judge, the judge whether he misses or making a ball that opposite hand, because that was a difficult shot. If he would have missed that, I wouldn't have penalized him for it.
Oh, no. Well,
I would have
not
still
at
given
all.
him. I would have still given him a clean record on never missing a ball with his left hand.
Oh, yeah. His record would have remained intact.
Right. But anyways, he made it, which is quite impressive.
Well, this is game number 2 and a race to 3. Mr. Joyner leads the match 1-0. Cliff Joyner's at the table. Efren's got a few balls scattered around. They made a good break. Cliff's going to have to work to get out of this break. I didn't hear what Cliff said just now. Maybe something about the scorecard. Nothing really simple and easy to get out of this situation right now.
No, he doesn't like anything he's looked at so far. He's stumped. He's stumped right now. So when you're stumped, maybe you have to look to take some sort of an intentional scratch and see what we could do with the cue ball that way.
Mm-hmm. Maybe go into the stack, freeze a cue ball on a group of balls.
No, I don't know.
How about kicking at the back rail into the 6 with not too much speed, so you don't scratch in the corner pocket, but
that shot's a workable shot, but very, very difficult and risky.
It still, and it leaves the 10-ball 2-rail back into Efren's hole as well. If the cue ball doesn't slide behind the 7-8, it's very likely that Efren would shoot a 10-ball 2 rails into his pocket. If that cue just sticks close to the where the 6 ball lays now. The only thing I can see is knocking that 6 ball toward the 1 ball, and hope that the cue slides. He's got problems everywhere.
Yeah, he's got some problems. He's got some problems.
I mean, he could kick off the side rail where the chalk was just now, where Cliff picked up the chalk where he was standing, and kick over towards the, but it's kind of an empty shot. It's something that, while it gives you a chance to, live to fight another day. Oh. He's not. Yeah, he took my shot, and he's going to pay for it.
No, he's fine.
He left what about the 8-7? Yeah, the 8-7.
Oh my, that's really, really unfortunate that lined up the way it did.
Yeah, 8-7.
Really, it's very unfortunate that laid the way it ended.
Well, luckily the 6 is in a position by the 1. The 6 ball will be difficult to be made, and the 1 ball can't be made, at least from my vantage point here.
Well, he's got to be careful here, though. He might scratch somewhere. Nope, he played. I thought he was going into the stack with the cue ball.
Oh,
Now if he pockets the 3, he'll draw into the 6 now. If he has room to pocket the 3, he'll draw the cue ball
yes.
into the 6, loosen up those 2 balls, have a nice angle on the 8 to play position for at least the 6 and the 1. Like this. Now he's left himself a nice angle, as you can see, to go 2 cushions toward the 6 and the 1. If the 6 passes, that'll be ideal.
I'm 99% sure the 6 will pass.
He's opting. Oh, he missed
Thinking about
it.
the 10. Yeah, he's thinking about the 10 ball.
Well, Joyner once again can consider himself quite fortunate to only be trailing 2-0 after erring the way he did the last time he was at the table, and now he has an opportunity to get back into the game. He'll reposition the cue ball in the stack, sending the 8 ball, I think, 2 cushions on his side of the table, somewhere where the cue ball is now. The 8 ball should end up, and the cue ball should end up in the stack.
I like that shot, Billy. Not bad. You know, by not getting that 8 ball all the way to the side rail, this puts Efren in an even more difficult situation because the 10 ball can be made up from up table as well as the 8 ball down table. So,
right.
That's a very nice shot that he just made. I would have been more inclined to get the 8 ball to that side rail, but Cliff didn't hit it with enough speed to do that, and looks like that was a better shot.
Well, I think that in either position that the 8 ball ended up in would have offered a big problem for Reyes.
Right.
Because even if it would have gone to the side rail, if Reyes repositions the cue ball on the short rail down here, then Cliff probably could have done something with the stack or possibly the 1 and the 6,
Right.
to continue to create problems for Reyes. No, he has. Oh, he's looking to double bank the 1. Now, do you see the distance between the cue ball and the 1? I don't know if this shot is the right shot because of the difficulty of the shot. You better get this kiss here. Because, you have to protect your position. I know that if that shot is hit well, you improve your position, but the degree of difficulty in that shot may at times be too difficult for you to shoot a shot.
Well, I think when
that
Efren goes
difficulty.
over and looks at this 1-8, I'm not sure, but this 1-8 looks pretty close to being on. Is it on, Billy?
No, it's not, and there's about an inch that separates both the 1 from the 8. So I don't know if he'll choose to kick at it. But he could, but I don't know if it's advisable for him to do that. And from our vantage point, we really can't see what's offered to him in regard to the 2 and the 2 might be a ball that he'll shoot off of. I don't know. I can't tell what's available.
Well, we've got lots of fans in the stands surrounding the, and we've even got fans out in surrounding the arena itself, the TV table. We've got them up top. Everyone's watching the match. They've heard how tight this match is and how slow it's been progressing and what great safety plays have been taken here, and everyone's interested. Cliff's putting up a good battle. He's not ready to give up. The score is 2-0 in this game. Mr. Reyes leads the match 1-0 in a race to 3, and Cliff's back at the table again.
Well, Reyes' body language indicated to me that he wasn't really happy with the results of this shot, and I don't see why he wasn't happy with it unless Cliff Reyes sees something that I don't. He may have a Karen Bank 15 off the 12, sending the 15 toward your pocket, using the 1 and the 8 as interfering balls, protecting that ball. That could be possible. Shooting the 15 into the 12. 15 that will bank toward your pocket, and then you'll use the 1 and the 8 as possible interfering balls. Well, I don't know if that's going to work. He may be able to pocket the 11 here. I don't know if he can or not. If he can't, then that shot was effective.
Well, Billy, not only do we have a great turnout for spectators watching this match, but we've got over 4,600 viewers that have stopped by to visit the live stream, and we're glad that they did. And I know that our sponsors appreciate them stopping in, and hope that you'll be with us all night, because right after this match, we have the finals. The winner of this particular match will play Shannon Dalton for the One Pocket Finals Championship here in Galveston, Texas at the World Classic.
Whatever Reyes does from this position, he's going to do well. He's a master at controlling the cue ball in close quarters. So therefore, it doesn't appear that he can do much traveling with the cue ball, considering the position of the ball. So I look for him to duck behind something. Wow. Oh, that's pretty nicely executed there.
Yeah, but he's got trouble with this 4-ball here. Cliff may bank this 4-ball and
might, or the 8 possibly.
Or the 8 possibly.
Well, in either case, whether it be the 4 or the 8, I think it's going to be the 8, because the angle that he's offered with the 4 seems like it might be a kiss, but it could be wrong.
That's right. That's right.
I could be wrong there. Nope, he's going to bank the 4, so it looks like he has enough of an angle to move the cue ball out of the way of the kiss. Now he's taking a look at the 8 to see if he likes that better. He doesn't like the 8, he doesn't like the 4 all that much, because he's opted to shoot both shots and gotten up from both shots.
These cross banks are one of Cliff's signature shots. He does these extremely well.
He doesn't like this shot.
No, he doesn't like it, but he shot it and he made it. Very nice shot.
Now, this is a very big shot coming up, but doesn't really carry a natural angle for any other ball. So he's going to have to do something with the cue ball. Okay, he's going to have to put a little bit of a different type of a stroke other than a natural stroke on this shot. He's going to have to spin it some way. He's going to have to elevate. He's going to have to do something to get on the next ball. Unless he can shoot. Can he see the 1? No.
Perfect. Well, Cliff just needs to bide his time here and be careful about this cue ball control. He's got a lot of balls that are sitting right there waiting for his picking. I don't know why he did that.
Because the 14 may go. If the 14 goes.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize he could get past there.
Yeah, it would have been hard for him to play position for the 10 only from that position, because
he wants to bump the 12 slightly, I think. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. What a squandered opportunity. Oh, my goodness. He was back in this game and back in this match. And now Efren's at the table with the count 2-2, and the ball spread perfectly for Efren to pick up 6 balls right here.
Well, that's really something that was unexpected. From getting himself in that type of a position, you would have thought that he would run out, but
maybe that 14, just maybe there was a narrow lane, and he was concerned about, carrying into one of the other balls, and just pulled it a little bit. And there's 6 balls waiting to be picked up right here. Apparently the 10 passes the 15.
I don't know if it does because he's not happy with it.
I'll be darned. Huh. The way he hit that ball with that such slow speed, I just assumed that, it must pass.
Joyner's very fortunate Reyes is not playing a good game here, I mean, had he been playing this type of a game, this match would have been in the third game by now, with Reyes leading 2-0.
In the meantime, the score is 5-3 in favor of Efren Reyes. Does he just try and get the 10 ball close to the hole and roll up the cue, freeze it on the 15?
Yeah, that would be some sort of a shot. But when you play this
or
caliber,
a combo, a little combo,
yeah,
a little 10-15 combo.
Yeah, when you play as well as these guys here, you have to go for your pocket here. I think he's going to play the combination and play shape for the 9.
You called it, Billy. The crowd acknowledges a nice combo by Efren Reyes.
This match actually should have been tied up at 1 game apiece, but I don't know what happened when Cliff was citing the 14. Maybe he didn't have a full pocket, but if he had a full pocket, I really don't have anything to say in his defense because that was a ball he should have never missed, but he did. 2-0 in favor of Reyes. A lot of work ahead of Joyner now.
Last night I had Danny Harriman in the booth, and Danny was sharing some of his pool secrets, like you've been doing, and I appreciate all these nice secrets that you've shared and Danny have shared, and the one that he shared that I think might be appropriate for that particular shot is that Danny says that when you're playing on a TV table and the light dries out the cloth, or when the balls have been polished with wax where there's less friction. So when the cloth is dry, there's less friction. When you apply left-hand spin or right-hand spin, side spin, period, there is more squirt from the cue ball, more cue ball deflection. And that may have been the culprit in that shot.
I do agree with everything you said, except I don't believe that was the culprit. I do agree with everything you said, but that shot was just too easy of a shot. Not much English, not much deflection. I think he took his eye off the ball, and I think he played cue ball instead of object ball. And in that type of a situation, you really can't leave the table with a miss.
Well, he's paid for it severely, with Mr. Reyes leading the match 2-0 in a race to 3. Oh, look at this.
Well, fortunately, he didn't leave Joyner a shot, and it looked like he may have had left him a shot, but he didn't. Well, Joyner's got to regroup here. It's understandable that he's a little frustrated right now, but he really has to regroup and play some solid pool because he can surmount this lead because Reyes is not really playing Reyes-like. So therefore, that's a plus for Joyner, if anything. So grab something positive from this, okay, and try to go to work.
You think a break is? You think Cliff should take a break at this time and maybe go wash his face, do a little self-talk, come back to the table with a fresh attitude?
Well, that wouldn't hurt, but I don't know if he'll do that. I just think that he needs to play solidly. He's playing the carom here. Good shot. Now the 313 looks like it's aiming toward Reyes' pocket, but the problem is he can't reach it. He can't get to that kick or anything. So therefore, Cliff repositioned the cue ball ideally to protect that possibility. And he made a good shot. Ball surrounding Joyner's pocket. Reyes can't hit any of those balls. that creates problems for Reyes. Very, very curious to see how he deals with this.
He's got a Harry Carey shot on the 10 ball.
He may kick behind the 11 here. See, he can kick 2 cushions behind the 11 with nice speed, sending the 11 to the other cushion.
Toward the 15?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But he has to hit it with nice speed. Had he hit the 11, he would have assured himself that he would not have scratched with the speed that he hit it with. He just wanted to get out of that position. You know, a scratch at this point for him is certainly a fair trade-off, and he's willing to do that, particularly if you're a big ball runner. You know, putting yourself one in the hole is not really that much for a guy like Reyes, obviously. Joyner now will softly kick into the stack. Putting Reyes back in the similar position. Now Reyes has an option here. He can either come off the 1, reposition the cue ball in the stack, or do the same thing he did the last time he was at the table. But I think I look for him to come off the 1. I don't think there's a need for him to take another scratch here.
Might be an opportunity to get the 1 ball on his side of the table.
Well, he'd like to, but he doesn't want to run the risk of losing control of the cue ball. Now Joyner, I think, should look up table. I think that's where he needs to put the cue ball up table, where up to the right-hand corner, coming off the orange 5 ball, utilizing the 7 ball as an interfering ball. It'll protect the 15 and the 11 and the 9. He should reposition the cue ball up to the upper right-hand corner off the orange 5. I don't think he should stay down table, allow him to see the 6. He should go up table here.
He just needs to make sure that he doesn't place the cue ball between the first and second diamond where Efren, he's not even shooting a direction I thought he would shoot off the 5.
I don't know what Reyes has here, but I would have preferred to go up table.
Is he looking at that 8-3-13 shot
He
possibly?
may be looking at that. And like I mentioned before, which you brought it up again, that 3-13 combination may be available. And if it is, Reyes is in an ideal position to shoot that shot.
Mm-hmm.
So if it goes, and he shoots it and it goes, Cliff has no one to blame but himself for giving him that shot.
Well, if he had gone up table, the shot would have still been there. No,
Right.
the 5 would have been moved out of the way, and the 8-3-13 combo would still be available.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But evidently, it may not be available. It was.
Oh, it was dead on.
I don't understand. I really don't understand why Cliff did what he did if that ball was dead, which it was. I don't understand that.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
maybe the 8-3-13 wasn't dead, and just the 3-13 was dead, and that may have played a part in Cliff's decision.
Okay, I agree with you. Good assessment. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Then he really should have gone up table.
Still.
Then he really should have gone up table, taking away the 3-13.
That's right. That's right.
He's got to move the ball, just shoot the ball underneath the 11. Try to get a better angle the next time he comes to the table. I mean, the position that he had Reyes in, obviously before Reyes went to the table the last time, was such a strong position. So therefore, his shot selection at that time had to be the correct one. It was a crucial time, for him to maintain this position or even strengthen it, and he didn't do it.
The balls are spread extremely well, and either opponent, once they get to the table, could easily collect 8 balls. Cliff will need 9. He still owes a ball. The score is 0 to -1 in favor of Mr. Reyes. Cliff was lucky that after Efren made the 3-13 combo, that there wasn't a shot left for Efren. That's what he's really lucky about.
I just softly shoot the cue ball like he's doing now. No, he's not doing it. This is very dangerous. He's going to.
He might double hit the 11.
Exactly.
When he
This
puts
is
that
very
spin on
dangerous.
there.
He's trying to do soft spin around the 11 after contacting the 11, but he's going to get maybe that double kiss here. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. He made a nice shot.
Well, Billy, this may be a Starbucks night for me. We've got the finals championship coming up after this. This match is progressing slowly, although Mr. Reyes leads the match 2-0. If Cliff can get back into this game, this is going to be a rather lengthy match. And we've got another great match lined up with Shannon Dalton waiting in the hot seat for the winner of this match.
Yes, we do. And Shannon Dalton, by the way, is playing very well. And that's obviously evidenced with his position in the tournament in the hot seat. He defeated Reyes in the match before this one, which was yesterday. But the way he played there, he's going to be very difficult to beat. And but of course, this match hasn't been decided yet either.
Well, we're hitting on all cylinders. We've got a nice fan base here watching this great match. We've had over 5,000 viewers stop in on the live stream, and it's just it's great to see these good players playing such tough pool here. And the balls are spread. They're ready. Someone's going to have an opportunity that happens very soon.
He's kicking behind the 9 here.
Well, I think he's got a shot. Efren's got a shot on the 11. He can hit the 11 full if he chooses.
Yeah, but he really can't do much with it. But he can get out of the trap for now. I think I would have challenged Reyes there before when Cliff opted to shoot that. I think I would have banked the one playing cue ball up table near that bottom cushion and challenged Reyes. Now he can do it again, but of course now the 15 ball was removed from where it was, so therefore Cliff's pocket is not as near as inhibiting as it once was.
Well, Efren has a wall of balls facing his pocket.
Pretty, yeah, for Reyes.
Right.
I would have definitely challenged Reyes last time he was at the table, but he didn't do that.
Mm-hmm. Cliff has. I guess you know I don't think that although Cliff is one of the best cue ball movers in one pocket, I don't think he wants to, really battle at this slow pace. Every now and then I agree with you. He's got to come with a little shot, challenge Efren.
Efren, had he repositioned the cue ball up table and given Efren a difficult shot on the black 8, I don't think Efren would have liked shooting the 8 with all the balls surrounding Joyner's pocket.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think he would have liked that,
Mm-hmm.
And but I think he likes it a lot more now, Reyes that is, than if he was up table, challenged with that difficult shot on the 8.
Now look at that. Again, Efren being a little crafty by moving that 8 ball over to Cliff's side of the table. He's, tying up some balls and making it difficult for Cliff to make a shot.
Right. He's looking to two-rail this 11. Watch out for the cue ball. He didn't control the cue ball, though. I mean, I thought he was going to try to position it underneath the 9, not allowing Reyes at the table to do anything, constructive. Now Reyes can, move some more balls, can get more balls, and really Cliff doesn't want him to be able to do that because the balls favor Cliff. Had he repositioned the cue ball behind the 9, put more emphasis on that opposed to the controlling the 11, I think he would have fared much better.
Mm-hmm. All three of these games has, been a game of chess. Balls slowly being repositioned, moved around the table, one plucked here and there.
Watch out.
That's a fast cloth there.
Okay, now he does have a shot on the 2 here. He can shoot the 2 into the brown 7, sending both balls toward his pocket. But most importantly, you must control the cue ball here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no.
You have to control the cue ball. That was the big part of that shot.
He made 2 ball and scratched in the side pocket. That's Katie bar the door. Now Cliff owes 2 balls. Efren has none, but he has cue ball in hand behind the line. He leads the match 2-0. He needs 8 balls to win the match. This is the semifinals match of the Galveston World Classic One Pocket Tournament. The winner of this match will be able to face Shannon Dalton for the opportunity to win $15,000. As I recall, this is double elimination, so the winner of this match will have to beat Shannon Dalton twice to earn that $15,000. That's 3 balls.
Yeah, he's playing for 5. And obviously, we can see 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. I don't believe the 5 passes. We can see. I see the 4, 9, 11, and 15. The 13 banks, or where's that? The 12. The 12, yeah.
Do you think that Efren is playing shape on the 9 so that he can bank, or not bank, but run into the 2, 13?
Well, not now, but I don't think so. I think he wants to go up for the 15, 11.
Is he going to hit that the head rail? No.
No, it's too stuffy hit. Now he has to change his plan.
Shifting gears. The score is 5-0. 5 to -2. Excuse me. No need to get crazy and try this 15 ball, right, Billy?
Well, it looks like he can do it because I think that he can control the cue ball and stay away from the 11, like he's doing here with the draw stroke. But it looks like he's afraid of contacting the 11.
Maybe running right into that side pocket.
Right, he doesn't want to do that. But with his...
Nothing crazy, just pocketing the ball. Very fine shot.
It wasn't exactly a gimme,
No.
but he made it appear that it was. That's going to be close, but not good.
Ah. Efren collecting his 6 balls. Cliff owes 2 balls. The players need to make 8 balls in their pocket, win the game. Again, Efren leads this match 2-0. And I'm Joey Augustin, Joey A. from the Internet Pool Forums, and I'm here with Billy and Cardona. We're at the One Pocket semifinals match between Efren Reyes and Cliff Joyner. I hope you're enjoying this fine match and these 2 great players.
Reyes would like to shoot to 12 here. 2 cushions and go down table, putting a ball on his side. That'll stop all kind of nonsense that Cliff may mind.
Mm-hmm. He wants to hit it with good speed so that it leaves no return bank on the 12 for Cliff.
See, he has an option to come off the brown 7 or the 12. He would prefer the 12 because it'll reposition it on his side of the table. Like this.
Oh, I don't know if I like that.
He wanted to hit it a little bit harder.
Cliff can bank the 2 or the 7.
You know what? He can do either.
I mean,
I don't think that he should.
Well, he's behind two. He owes 2 balls.
Yeah.
He has to make something happen. And I mean, this is about as good an opportunity that he's going to have to get back in the game. The ball's a spread. If he takes this chance, he has an opportunity to get back in this game and possibly this match.
Okay, then he should play position for the 11 ball here.
Unless the 2 goes, right?
Oh, there's a 2 go?
Oh, and that's what I'm saying. I don't know if it does. I can't determine from here.
Yeah, well, if the 2 had room to go, obviously that would be a shot. But I thought there were 2 balls on the foot spot, though, but I was wrong. It does look like they're set at an angle.
Right, they're at an angle.
Real first here. You have to be careful with the cue ball here.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
You know, that I don't know if that was the right shot with the score like it is.
No, he didn't.
6 to -2.
He didn't play Joey A's rule. And Cliff is shooting. I thought he would shoot this 11 ball and creep up behind the 5 and 7.
You know what? He can shoot the 14 and get the same angle.
This is almost, to me, it looks like it's a perfect angle to get shape on the 5 right here. I don't know that he'd ever get such a precise opportunity. Oh, he didn't make the ball. Oh, my.
Well, I don't know what's going on in his head, but he hasn't really offered much of a challenge here for Reyes in this match so far.
No, Cliff hasn't put it on Efren, and this may be exactly what Efren needs to make a good run at Shannon.
He would like to cross the 11 into his pocket, but he's kind of mindful of the cue ball here. You know, he could end up scratching somewhere or possibly going into the 14. Some sort of a unexpected way of scratching, but you know, it's possible. That's why he chose to go with inside English. Now, once again, he's left Cliff a shot.
Sure has.
You know, and he's certainly not happy with it. But Cliff doesn't seem to be very productive in with anything he's tried to do. And this isn't really an easy shot because you're going to have to hit it with inside English. Or he looks like he's going back here with the cue ball. I don't like that. I like hitting it with inside English and going ahead and, yeah, that's the shot I like. But you got to hit it a little bit better than that.
Well, if Cliff keeps missing these balls,
Well,
the door is closing faster.
This is your shot here, Joey, by going up table with the cue ball.
Right.
You know, overcut the 14, go up table with the cue ball, like so.
Yeah.
You know how we overcut it?
Yeah.
Went up table with the cue ball.
But he didn't leave the cue ball on the head rail.
Yeah, but he did okay. He did okay because he has the lead. He needs to protect it. All balls favor him. He can deal with this. He just didn't want to give up any return shot. That was the main objective right there.
Right.
Joyner hasn't really done well when he's had opportunities. So when he doesn't have opportunities, he really doesn't figure to do anything.
He's going to dig into this side rail and try and knock this 11 into the 5-7. Oh, no, he's not digging anything. He's going to leave those balls just sit right by Efren's hole. Wasn't ready to sell out.
Well, Reyes would like to just roll the 13 ball and kind of like stay on that side with the cue ball, but not allowing Joyner to hit the 11. He wants to use the 14 as a blocker. Well, I think he's allowed Reyes, Joyner, that is, to hit the 11 now. If he could have repositioned the cue ball a little further to the left using the 14 as a blocker, that shot would have been very effective. Now it looks like that Joyner can bank the 11 out of there, but he really can't do anything offensive here because it looks like it could be a little risky.
Even if he tries the carom into the 5, he can't hit deep enough without turning the cue ball loose. If he hits the 5 fat and runs into the 7, who knows what's going to happen. He's choosing to play the soft style cue ball control and leave the cue ball stuck in Efren's hole.
Well, Reyes really doesn't have much here. He'll probably just shoot the 11 into the 5 and go down table and halfway back up on the left-hand side.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to hit that 14 ball. He may be looking at it, but
wow, watch the cue ball. Pretty risky what he tried to do there.
I agree.
But since he's done it, it looks pretty effective.
Efren leads this game 6-2. He leads the match 2-0. We don't see anyone in the fans in the stands leaving now. Everyone's glued to their seats. Some are standing, looking, hoping that their player of choice manages to overcome.
Joyner's in a lot of trouble here. He's looking to kick here.
Kick at the 11 ball.
Yeah, but it's such a risky shot, and he's going to leave him the bank on the 14 even if he does hit it well.
That's right.
I mean, he's really in a lot of trouble here.
I've seen Cliff practice this particular shot over the years, and he normally does it very well.
And plus, he's leaving him a bank on the 12 or the 14. He's giving him choices here.
Does the 5 go past the 11? That's the question.
It looks like it does, but even if it doesn't, I don't like his chances. He owes 3 balls. He might not even get back to the table.
Everything pocket speed.
It's inevitable what's going to happen here. So.
When he jacked up like that, I thought he was going to hit it with a little speed, and maybe try and stun the cue in, but behind the 213, but no.
He might be drawing into the 5 and playing the bank here.
That's all she goes. That's it.
Yeah, it's all over. At least he gave himself a chance, but it didn't work out. I don't think too much has worked out for Joyner in this match, and that's certainly indicative to the score, 3-0.
Cliff concedes the match, and the fans applaud. Well, Billy, once again, it's been great working with you. Efren has won this match rather handily, 3-0. And Cliff settles for a fine third-place finish. And as always, it's been great working with you, and I absolutely love it. I hope that we'll have the opportunity to work together in the future.
And I do as well, Joey. And unfortunately, I won't be able to do the finals with you. You'll probably have someone like maybe a Jeremy Jones or even a Nick Varner or
Gabe Owen.
A Gabe Owen.
Sure.
Right, you know. And I think you guys are going to have a great match with Reyes and Dalton. Reyes got to beat him twice. But you know what? If anybody can do it, he can. So it'll be very interesting.
It will be. And thanks again. We're going to have some interviews by our ladies with the production team. And hopefully they'll get some insight into just how what happened in this match. Did Efren get lucky again? Well, everyone's getting up, stretching. It's been a long match. I think this is going to be a Starbucks coffee night for Joey A. We're glad all you internet viewers stepped in to the live stream, and over 5,000 viewers. It's great to see you all here. Well, we're waiting for the interview to start, and I see Shannon's already made his way into the TV room. So you internet fans, brew that extra pot of coffee and get ready to settle in. Efren's taking a little break. He's doing an interview right now with Christina De La Garza, and they're getting ready to start the interview in just a few minutes. Shannon just can't wait to get to the table. He's anxious to start hitting some balls.
Christina De La Garza here with Efren Reyes, the magician. We're seeing a lot of each other here on the TV table. Congratulations.
Well, I get lucky for this match, Cliff Joyner is a good player, he's a great player, but first time I saw him, this one, he played too bad.
Yeah, well, this is definitely a different game than we saw you against Shannon the other day. Did the day off help yesterday? You guys had the day off, and now you're coming playing them right in a row. Do you think that's helping you?
I think this one is helping to me because I'm playing already 10 ball, and I'm looking for Shannon Dalton to beat him again.
Well, speaking of, something I'm dying to know about is the payouts. I heard you were the one player that voted against changing the payout distribution. Do you understand what I'm saying? They changed 50,000 or 25,000 for first place to 15,000 to make them more even, and you were the one person to vote against that. What do you think about that now, since you're on the one loss side, having to win 2 games against him? How do you still feel that was the right decision?
It's feel okay. It's good for any player, because that's the price, the payout. I think is no good for the other poor players. That's why I vote for the prices. They changed the payout.
Okay. Well, do you feel like there's any less pressure now that it's not quite as big of a difference between first and second?
Anything, I still got pressure, much pressure.
Okay. All right. Well, since you've played on the table already, you like your chances against him in this round twice?
We have to try him again, maybe This one he cannot get out.
All right. One last thing I wanted to ask you about is your cue. I noticed you're shooting with a different cue than you play with in 10 ball.
No, because the all this is the different is not for the cure. That's all for sometimes the cube is very heavy. It's not light to me.
Okay. All right. Well, congratulations and good luck in your next match, and we'll see you again right after this.
Thanks.
Christina De La Garza, stay tuned. You guys will have the finals coming up in just a short time. Thanks.